Since the Trump inauguration ceremony, I was expecting an avalanche of celebrity cringe where they're just having public meltdowns about living in Trump's America. It has been surprisingly understated, but there are still some highlights that I felt were necessary to go over with y'all on the show. But this was the first one that surprised me. Kim Kardashian posted a photo of Melania Trump from the inauguration on her Instagram story with zero explanation and zero context. And I can only assume that that is a tacit endorsement of the incoming administration. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, especially without any type of explanation as to what it's supposed to mean.
We have another 20 from Just Because I'm Free. Mary's going to have to start paying us with these cringe of the day, out here torturing us. Thanks for saving us, Brett.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really save you from the cringe. We still had to suffer through it.
Yeah, I let it play.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not hard to believe for me that Kim is a Trump supporter, that she at least voted for Trump once. Mm-hmm. Especially because she's friends with Ivanka.
Well, she's kind of a great
example. She got
example.
a lot of backlash for that.
But she also worked with the Biden administration on prison reform as well. So she's a great example of somebody who might lean one way but is willing to work with both parties if they have a goal that they're working towards.
She's independent, but she leans Kim.
She's a true independent.
She only supports herself. But, you know, I think she was posting this more so to just say, like, Melania Slade.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's the thing. Without context, I was surprised it didn't say she ate or something.
She ate and left no crumbs.
Well, you could scoop the crumbs up in that hat.
Yeah, that hat was certainly a look.
How do you feel?
It's not that I don't like it. I like the message it's sending, but I personally wouldn't wear something like that.
Okay.
Melania does look good no matter what she wears. But yeah, regarding Carrie Underwood's performance and the backlash that she received for showing up at the inauguration, Ariana Grande joined the pile-on. She liked a post throwing shade at Carrie Underwood's performance because I believe that there were a couple moments where she kind of was off-key. Mm-hmm. And Ariana Grande, of course, is the queen of vocals. So she liked this post that said, Kamala Harris evoking Coco Monteith's Girl Find the Note watching Carrie Underwood at today's chilling inauguration.
See, I like the idea that she did it because she's actually just dunking on her singing and it has nothing to do with politics. That's the world I want.
I wish it were.
The world I want to live in is where she's being a mean girl because she's not singing up to her standards and it has nothing to do with her political views.
I really wish it were just competition between them as singers, but it's unfortunately
like imagine if it had
she
been
would have never said that about someone performing at a Biden inauguration. Yeah. She would have never posted something like that. We have another 20 from Ben. Did you hear the latest Destiny drama? Pixie and other girls he's been with had their nudes leaked and Destiny getting sued. Not so erudite has been the Ghislaine Maxwell. Pixie threatening unaliving if Destiny doesn't pay her $1 million.
You should ask this on Thursday when Phil is here.
I have not kept up with any of that at all, but it sounds insane and I'm sure predictable for Destiny's personal life and the mess that is. I also saw that Justin Bieber shared a post on Inauguration Day that was not related to Inauguration Day at all. It happened to fall on the same day as MLK Day. Mm-hmm. So Justin's post read, "Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. Love you. Happy MLK Day."
I mean, it's not as funny as the FBI posting about Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King Day, which is the ultimate in irony.
Well, do you think that he posted this as an implicit shot at Trump?
I guess.
Because Trump represents hate?
Because of the quote, I guess.
A lot of people also said they found it deeply offensive that the inauguration would take place on MLK Day.
I mean, there's no choice of that, right? Does it always happen on January 20th?
I thought so.
Yeah, so. But
I believe... like they found it offensive that they wouldn't change the date because Trump is the one getting inaugurated. So it does feel like he was throwing shade at Trump in that post.
Well, I mean, I did see also that Justin Bieber supposedly got hacked and went and unfollowed his own wife on Instagram. If in fact I am to believe that this is real and he actually did get hacked, maybe the most diabolical thing in history is to get into a mega celebrity's phone and do nothing but make him fight with his wife.
Just for context, though, the other people that Justin has recently unfollowed or blocked on Instagram, those were totally legit.
But no, so the other thing is he also supposedly, they unfollowed his wife and Selena Gomez, his ex, and there's something really funny about doing this. So now he has to, Haley's going to be looking at him, she's like, oh, you going to refollow her?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just causing problems for the dude.
Yeah, the hacker thought in 5D chess. But yeah, for the rest of it, it's the usual suspects. First of all, Mark Hamill posted, from midnight tonight until next Saturday morning, there's no TV, no internet, no social media, no nothing for me. Symbolic protest is better than none at all. Hashtag 5-day blackout.
Get sent from his Blue Sky account, because when you're on Blue Sky, it's always Twitter in 2017.
And you know what? Mark Hamill can do without social media for the rest of his life, as far as we're concerned.
I did
Nothing
laugh.
of value would be
There
lost.
is something almost, maybe it's just my brain being broken, but there's almost endearing about the level of like boomerism in his dislike. I did like this one from The Daily Show. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Yeah, that was funny. They kind of got Melania with that one. Her hat just looks like the Pizza Hut roof.
It does.
It does.
It
does.
does.
You also said that she looked like
The Hamburglar.
the Hamburglar, and then like what character from Mortal Kombat?
Oh, Kung Lao. She's got the same hat as Kung Lao.
Other people said the Undertaker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So whenever the Undertaker would come to the ring, it was like a big thing where he would wear the brimmed hat, the billed hat. And whenever he would take it off, it fit so tightly to his head that when WWE went HD, you could see the mark on his head, the red line.
I don't care. She's still slayed.
Yeah, no, she looks, that's a pretty iconic look right there.
Stephen King tweeted, or sorry, he didn't tweet. He was on Blue Sky.
They're all
what
on
do they
Blue
do?
Sky now.
They Blue Sky?
They sky it.
He skied.
They blueyed it.
Saying Donald Trump will be indoors for the inauguration with his billionaire pals. His core supporters will be left outside in the cold. Think about that. I also heard that decision was made for security reasons.
Yes.
Which makes sense to me. And they were trying to insist on doing it outdoors, but Trump he basically said publicly that they were moving it indoors, so they had to move it.
Yeah. In the chat, I did read this as well. JGW said someone mentioned that she wore the wide brim hat so that Trump couldn't kiss her. There's like this weird...
There was an awkward air kiss.
Yes, but there is this like real narrative where they desperately want her to hate him.
Yeah.
Like they desperately want her to hate him.
It's a lot of Americans not understanding the disposition of an Eastern European ice queen, and that's just the way she is. I'm sure she deeply loves him. She's just not, giving golden
emotional.
retriever energy. Ice-T tweeted, if a felon can become president, why keep it on job applications? Just saying.
Well, I mean,
does he make a valid point?
That's a very interesting question, because it is one of the jobs. There's very few requirements in the way of what you have to actually do to become president.
Well,
outside
both of us are felons, so.
Yes. Wait, what? I'm so confused.
No, but you don't really have to do background checks to become a podcaster.
No. I mean, some might say that you need to. I watched this, I was watching a compilation of the worst videos of women giving women advice and the worst examples of men giving men advice. And it's like, we might need a background check to buy yourself a microphone in the future.
What was the worst advice that men gave to other men?
I can't even. I'll send you the link later.
Dudes, cry more.
Post
videos of yourself.
It was
crying.
Some of them were like manosphere dudes, and some of them were the women giving men advice would be that.
Yeah,
women giving men advice would be horrible advice to just cry at will in front of your girlfriend or wife. I'm sure she won't be affected by that at all.
Again, I was expecting far more meltdown behavior, but I feel like because of the TikTok shutdown, that was shut down as well. One tweet said, not to be Barbie, but how do you guys cope with the growing sense of dread that the world is legitimately going to end in our lifetimes and everything you know and love will collapse into chaos?
That is your algorithm affecting you.
Yeah.
That is your algorithm affecting you.
Don't ask me how I cope with that, because I don't have that sense of dread at all. That is not normal. I also wanted to show an unhinged TikToker saying he's now declaring war on Republicans.
Hello, My name is Scarlett Kelly, and I am officially declaring war on the Republican Party. If you are a Republican on TikTok and you want to interact with me, you deserve to die. You deserve to be shot. You deserve whatever suffering could possibly come to you. If you are a Republican and try to start any of that kind of nonsense with me in person, you will lose your life. This is war. I am not joking. It's done. You are not an American anymore. You're out. You're off the list. You've been naughty. Like, come on.
You don't go on the big guy rant and then use the term naughty. It kind of kills the vibe. I mean, it kind of kills the vibe.
I'm shaking in my boots.
Yes.
Truly.
We're going to start giving you the coal in the form of massive stones on top of a slab of wood on top of you.
Okay, then. That was nice.
Love the little friendly smile at the end.
He must be great at parties.
Yeah. And lastly, the girl that you said looks like if someone puked out Billie Eilish.
I look, that was said in private. I wasn't trying to be mean. It was just
I think
first observation.
you're incredible at insults.
Mary said I was great at insults, which
you really are.
I might have to put that in my Twitter bio.
You're incredibly creative when it comes to insults.
I don't do that on here because I try not to be rude to people. Okay, here we go.
I think it's hilarious.
Everything feels really out of control and scary, and I'm really anxious. Elon Musk, did a Nazi salute for some reason. That's so scary. And Donald Trump's the president, and that's so scary. And he basically admitted to voter fraud, but we're all just kind of glossing over that. Also, if you look up, this is random, if you look up right now in the search bar on TikTok, the Taylor Swift song, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, it's all, for me at least, I'll tell you, it's all replaced with woman, ? What is about to happen? I have such impending doom and fear, and what is about to happen? So I'm just laughing because I'm scared.
Wait, I don't get it. What does the song, the gender being switched, have to do with anything?
Because now misogyny reigns.
Oh, it's legal now?
Yeah.
I don't. Why? I'm not understanding either why Elon Musk is involved. Isn't he not American? What is fucking going on? What is happening?
Okay. All right. Well,
genuinely, I mean this with no malice. You should go, hug your loved ones. And as they say, go outside, touch the grass, ground yourself in reality. Because you need to stop doom scrolling if this is how you feel. Yep.
Oh yeah, it's there's a certain type of tunnel vision that you get when you get really, really attached to your phone in bad news, where I literally picture it as your eyesight goes like this and you start not being able to see anything but what's being shown to you on your screen. But then if you go outside and look around, it doesn't match reality in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was still though not as bad as 2016.
No, not nearly as bad.
Not nearly as bad as 2016.
And the fallout after 2020 was far more pronounced than what we're seeing now. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think it's nice that things have quieted down?
Yes, I do. I mean, I would rather people just not have anything to say. If I'm being completely honest, selfishly, I watched the inauguration in bits and pieces online, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Can we go on about I was looking through all of the executive orders that got signed, and I'm like, I just can't bring
a lot of it is symbolic. Mm-hmm. And that's what some people don't understand. Some people who support those orders and others who completely oppose them don't understand that a lot of it is purely symbolic.
Do laugh at the amount the one thing that seems to be consistently misunderstood from people that are really, really against him is the idea of legal immigration versus illegal immigration, because they always try to use his wife as some type of gotcha.
Or his Germanic last name.
Yeah. Well, and they not understanding that, she is here legally. Mm-hmm. And the idea of a child being born here to an American father and a legal immigrant isn't the same thing as birthright citizenship for somebody who is here illegally.
Right.
Which, look, I'm not even going to share my opinions on such a thing other than to say at least have the accurate information if you're going to try and dunk on them for that. It's just, I would rather it cool down, which is odd because, like, in this space, you don't benefit from it being calm. You benefit from tensions being high. That's how people make money in this space. I don't want, like, I guess I don't care enough about that to want people to be on edge and fighting all the time. I would rather things be calmer.
I think that they just saw the new presidential portrait for Trump and they thought, like, oh, he looks like a guy who wants to rip my throat out.
Well, I mean, that was done on purpose,
and
right?
that was an aesthetic choice.
That was absolutely done on purpose, right?
But then you listen to a Trump speech and he's literally completely harmless, almost to a point where it's annoying. Like, he talks like a grandpa who's telling you the same stories over and over again by the hearth.
I do need your opinion on this, and it's only second, like, tangentially connected. What did you think about the everybody was dunking on Obama for posting that picture with Michelle, and they said if I posted a picture of my wife looking like that, I would be
because it wasn't Michelle's birthday,
and it was
the night before.
The lighting was really horrible. It was like downdraft lighting and stuff. So
they said that that Barack looked great in the photo, and she definitely just didn't look as good, and it was that seemed pointed, but yeah, she also made the decision not to attend, which was definitely deliberate.
From all of them.
Yeah, to cast doubt on the whole thing.
I just, look, people, one of the biggest complaints people have is they believe in this, like, fake version of politics where somehow things were more amicable prior to 2016. And I don't really buy that was true. I mean, the far left called Bush a Nazi plenty in 2004. I actually contend that it's because back then the critique was actually smarter because the barrier to entry to really care about politics was higher. You had to look harder to do your research. You had to truly think about, like, what it meant to delve into politics back in the early 2000s, right?
There were no family members cutting each other out of their
talking
lives over voting for Bush. Like,
no, I'm talking about the actual. I'm talking about between the politicians, right? There's this idea that the politicians got along better. It's like, no, it's because it was basically a uniparty back then, and either way, American people were getting screwed.
Well, in a lot of ways, it still is. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. I will always wish Trump were the person they were afraid of. I really wish he were the guy that they're talking about, but that Trump doesn't exist.
And the sad thing is I wish that the people that, have gotten away from me because of, and it's not like I'm somebody who's like I don't own any like MAGA merchandise or anything like that. I just take the guy for what he is and kind of just examine him on the merits of the stuff. Like, one of the funniest things about it is if you look at a lot of those executive orders, you have to actually go get news sources from both sides to see what the other side thinks of that actual order. And I find that extremely fascinating, but I don't have strong opinions one way or the other. I wish that the people who really, really hate him could see him more in the light of somebody like me who can see him from the middle perspective to what I think he really is, which is mild reformist at best. A theatrical but mild reformer.
If they saw him the way that I see him, they wouldn't be afraid.
What? The people I'm talking about would be afraid. Oh, yes. Okay, so I see what you're saying. Yes, if they saw him the way that you see him now, they wouldn't be afraid. If they saw him but what they see is how you wish he was.
Exactly.
And that's why they're afraid.
Yeah. The cognitive dissonance is crazy.
Yeah, it really is social media's fault that all of this is like that now, right? When
there are a lot of reasons, but that probably is the biggest one.
It is very, very annoying. I mean, it is kind of hard to imagine that you can take it seriously when they call somebody Hitler and then say we're going to peacefully transfer power. It's like, well, if you actually believed he was Hitler, you would be doing everything in your power to stop this, but you know that he's not. Therefore, you're being disingenuous. Therefore, F off.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.